Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do our January the 26th, just for today, in a meditation. Let's go ahead and get into that. I would like to let you know my father passed away in the evening yesterday, and I'd like to dedicate this meditation to him, to the late AJ, okay, from South Side of Chicago. All right. The title of the meditation is Self-centeredness. The spiritual part of our disease is our total self-centeredness. Basic text, page 20. What is self-centeredness? It is our belief that the world revolves around us. Our wishes, our demands are the only ones worth consideration. Our self-centered minds believe they are capable of getting everything they want if only they would be left to their own devices. Self-centeredness assumes total self-sufficiency. We say that self-centeredness is the spiritual part of our disease because the self-centered mind cannot conceive of anything greater or more important than itself. But there is a spiritual solution to our spiritual malady, the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous. The steps lead us away from self-centeredness and toward God-centeredness. We strip away our delusion of self-sufficiency by admitting our own powerlessness and seeking the aid of a power greater than ourselves. We acknowledge the bankruptcy of our self-righteousness by admitting we've been wrong, making amends, and seeking knowledge of what's right from the God of our understanding. And we deflate our overwhelming sense of self-importance by seeking to serve others, not only ourselves. The self-centeredness afflicting our spirit can be treated with a spiritual solution, the 12 steps. Just for today, my guidance and my strength comes from a higher power, not from my own self. I will practice the 12 steps to become more God-centered and less self-centered. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer and the third step prayer. Serenity Prayer now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God, take my will in my life, guide me in recovery, and show me how to live clean. Today's an interesting day. It seems as though no matter what my intention is, as far as being able to read things the way they're written and to follow the order, I'm not able to pull it off. And so we took a moment of silence that wasn't a moment at all. And we requested the moment of the serenity prayer instead of the moment of silence. And yeah, so my words are twisted, but my heart is not, right? My words are twisted, but my heart is not. It's in the right place. And we're talking about self-centeredness versus God-centeredness. And so it's really just an appropriate day to talk about this. Obviously I'm grieving deeply, deeply hurt, and so it's been a long few hours. I would say about 8 hours now, a little less, maybe 7 hours now since he transitioned. And so there's a lot of things that are on my mind, but the greatest thing that is on my mind is how Narcotics Anonymous, the spiritual principles of this program, allowed me to walk through this season. And it's not over, but it's allowed me to walk through this season of letting him go with service in mind, with God in mind, with less of myself in mind, and more of those that you guys taught me so many gifts, so many things to be able to give away with a pure heart that I've actually been able to be of service to my loved ones during a very difficult time, even as we speak. And I'm grateful for that because that is not always the case. And I'm sure, there will be some rough days ahead, but through this process of using the spiritual solution for our spiritual malady, we become less self-centered. As a matter of fact, I could almost say that the instant I begin to head in the direction of self-centeredness, there are so many checking points that it's very difficult. It's almost as though I would have to be very bullheaded to force my way in that direction versus the direction of God-centeredness, versus the direction of selflessness, versus the direction of service. I mean, I would really have to make up my mind that what I want is what I want, and I'm going to get what I want, no matter who I have to crawl over, step over, kick down, character assassinate. I mean, it is a true effort to be a self-centered individual for me today. Now, that is not always the case. I'm just saying that if I head that direction, there's so many other checking systems in place. There's this check and balance that says, you know what, MightyStream, we're not doing that today. You've already dealt with the consequences of self-centeredness, and it took you years, if not decades, to dig yourself out of that mess where you felt like you deserved to live. No, we're not doing that today. And so I want to say to you that it can be the same for you. And I'm hoping it already is, but if it's not, if you are really in the middle of self-centeredness right now, where your disease is running riot, if you can honestly say, I'm in the madness right now and not in the maintenance of my program, right? If you can really say that, I just want to say to you today that we are members when we say we are. And the only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using. But after you meet that requirement, everything else that you undertake, every other change that you would seek and have in pursuit of peace, in pursuit of love, in pursuit of all of the beauty that comes with being clean versus actively using, right? That all of that can be attained in the moment that you surrender. In the moment that I make a decision that I'm going to stop pushing my own will, the moment I stop, things start to turn around. One of the things that start to turn around is that sense of self-degradation, that sense of low self-esteem, that sense of knowing that I have to tell one more lie to deal with this. It stops. And so when I say you remember when you say you are, you can be in God-centeredness, you can be in pursuit of service, you can be in pursuit of all that's good with spiritual principles. The instant you acknowledge the situation and stop the behavior that is pushing you further away from the center and the core of recovery, pushing you more towards the core of ego, of self-centeredness, active addiction, because I truly believe that when I go off in this direction of self-centeredness, then those foul emotions come up. That shame, that guilt, that embarrassment, and I need a way to be able to quiet the sounds of that noise in my head that says, see, you thought you was some girl, you ain't nothing. You ain't nothing and you ain't never gonna be nothing. Look at you. I need something to quiet that noise. They don't love you. I need something to stop that. In order for me to be able to stop it, I have to be able to change, right? Change what it sounds like, what the way I perceive it. I have to change my perception. And the way that I would commonly do that in the past is get high. Point blank, period. Nothing else to it. Full stop. That's what I would do because that made it become less loud. And that's what I wanted. But today I don't have to do that. Neither do you. Neither do you. And so I wouldn't care where you're at. I wouldn't care what's going on. I wouldn't care. Okay, I lost my dad. And it hasn't been 8, 9 hours. Yes. I'm feeling the weight of that. And you won't believe what's on task for today. And my mind is saying, you know what? We need to figure out how you're going to be able to push through this and stay God-centered. Because I can already see that I'm not going to have a whole lot of tolerance for nonsense today. And this is a very serious day in the community for what the organization I work with in recovery, in the pursuit of helping people have a housing and helping people have access to Narcan kits and all of the stuff that we do in the community. Today is a day of celebration. We're about to have like a huge banquet with 250 people. And I'm the IT. So there's a lot that I'm trying to make sure goes on without a hitch. I'm the main chairperson for this. So this is a big deal. And to be coming in on the weight of the patriarch, you know, of my family, patriarch, right? My family. I said that wrong, but you know what I mean. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting day, but I'm just saying to you, even if you're losing loved ones, that's the point. Even if we have been given a way that has proven itself in the lives of many recovering addicts, and it is a spiritual, not religious program. I know you've heard this stuff. Some of you have only heard it in the readings. You don't have a book. You've never read it for yourself in a book. You've heard it in readings at meetings. But that's real talk. It's proven itself in the lives of many other people, and it can prove itself in the life of yourself if you choose to let it, right? So today, let's do that. Let's realize where our guidance and strength comes from, not from ourselves. And let's make a commitment or a recommitment to practice the 12 steps so that we can become more spiritually centered and less self-centered, more God-centered than self-centered. We can do that, and we can do it together. We've been doing it together, so why would we stop today? My name is MightyStream. I've enjoyed talking to you. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose. I intend to talk to you soon.